Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane Halo 3 Brute Chieftain figure. Since Tord, at least as of right now, has postponed Halo until September, I figured I'd go back and take a look at some of the older figures that I particularly like, or at least at some of the campaign figures. Some of them I don't care for too much. Anyway, this is one of my favorites, and he's one of the first figures that we got, so I thought he would be a good way to get the ball rolling. He stands, depending on how you pose him, of course, but right now he's about 7 inches tall, so that gives you a good enough idea. This guy is a really nice figure. Just look right there, you can see the nice shading in the paint. There's tons of detail work in the sculpt. Paintwork is overall really nice. Some places it's phenomenal, you can see right there, it just looks perfect. Some places it's not perfect, you can see in the silver there, but it still looks really good. They have the little green lights going on. He comes with the gravity hammer. The bottom of it comes off so you can get it in his hand. Really nice detailing on this as well, and it does have a peg hole so it can go on his back, which already has the peg in it. Looks like I pushed it in too far, but I can get that back out. So that does go on his back. He's got really nice detailing in the sculpt, the little wires there, hoses, whatever those are. The face looks great, sculpt wise and paint wise. Nice open mouth. The tongue is a separate piece. I mean, it's molded up so you can tell that it's there. Just really great looking figure overall. As far as articulation goes, the head is on a double ball peg, as you can kind of see in there. So there's a ball in the neck and in the head. So pretty good range of motion for such a bulky, clunky guy. It's pretty nice, I think, even though you can see through in some spots. It's pretty good. The shoulders have ball discs, so pretty good range of motion. Really anything you want to do, you can do. These pads do get in the way a little bit if you try to go straight up, but that's probably, I mean, you can get really anything you need to do. You can get it done, so don't worry about it too much. And the joints are relatively well hidden on this guy, so that works for me. He does have a bicep swivel built in to that bald shoulder. He's got a hinge for the elbow, and it swivels at the forearm, so you can bring that around. And these are softer pieces, so they don't really get in the way too much. If you wanted to make his arm straight, you can do that. You have to fudge with it a little bit to get the arm to bend the way you want it to, but you can do it. The wrists are on ball pegs. The only problem I really have with this is that you can see the peg. It's like that on both sides. It's not so much a problem on this one due to the armor, but on this side, it's pretty ugly, but it is there. Torso is on a ball peg, but really it's mostly just going to be a swivel. You can get a little bit of rocking back, not too much forward, that's about it, but pretty good nonetheless. You can see the armor here hides the articulation fairly well. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. The hips have a rotation piece right here. It's a cut joint or a swivel, and then there's a swivel again here. So this one swivels on the groin itself, this one swivels on that piece, so that rotates this way, and then these pieces have a hinge joint that lets the leg come forward even more. So there's really pretty much unlimited articulation in the hip. However you want to get that to pose, you can do it, and it'll work okay. The knees have a standard hinge joint, and they swivel at the bottom, at the top of the boot there, at the bottom of the knee joint. And then the feet have a hinge joint similar to the shoulder. It swivels and it has the hinge, and then it's actually a swivel at the bottom as well. So really good articulation on this guy for being pretty bulky and clunky and having a lot of armor. You're not going to have too much trouble posing him, and he stands up really well. Getting the hammer in his hand is not the easiest thing to do. Sometimes it goes in like that, it wasn't so bad, but you might have some trouble getting it in. Even taking that off, you can kind of flex the thumb just a little bit, and then the open hand goes to this part of the hammer right there. So you can play with it or spin it around, do whatever you need to do to get the hand where it needs to be. It does reach. Of course, I'm not going to be able to do it on camera, but it does work. If I can do it. There we go. Get in there. So as you can see, he holds the hammer just fine. Once you get the hammer in there, of course, it locks his arms in place for the most part, since they're both connected. You can only do so much with it, but it still is a great looking figure, really good size, and one of my favorites. So there it is, that's the Brute Chieftain with the hammer from McFarlane for Halo 3. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, more custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.